Top Accurate Global News Update. I am Abiodun Mohammed. Waves of Russian drones targeted infrastructure in Ukraine's capital and surrounding areas on Monday, damaging energy facilities and causing some power outages, officials said, as Russia extended its bombardment into the second day of 2023. Ukraine's Air Force said that its air defense systems destroyed all of Russia's 39 Iranian-made Shahed drones that targeted Ukraine overnight in what it said was a massive attack. President Volodymyr Zelensky praised Ukrainians for showing gratitude to the troops and one another and said Russia's efforts would prove useless. But in a stern New Year speech, Russian President Vladimir Putin signaled no let-up in his assault on Ukraine. Ukraine's air defense systems worked through the night to bring down incoming drones and to warn communities of the approaching danger. North Korea has sacked Park Jong-chon, the second most powerful military official after leader Kim Jong-un, state media reported. Park, vice chairman of the Central Military Commission of the ruling Workers' Party and the secretary of the party's Central Committee, was replaced by Ri Yong-gil at the committee's annual meeting last week. The official KCNA news agency said on Sunday no reasons for the change was given. Pyongyang regularly revamps its leadership, and the year-end party gathering has often been used to announce personnel reshuffles and major policy decisions. State television showed Park sitting in the front row of the podium with his head down during the meeting, while other members raised their hands to vote on personnel issues. His seat was later shown unoccupied. He was also absent in photos released on Monday by the official KCNA news agency of Kim's New Year's Day visit to the Kumsusan Palace of the Sun, which houses the bodies of his grandfather and father, unlike in October, when Park accompanied Kim on a trip to the palace to mark a party anniversary. The party's Central Military Commission, which is headed by Kim, is considered the country's most powerful military decision-making body above the Defense Ministry. Israeli forces killed a Hamas militant and another Palestinian during clashes near the occupied West Bank city of Jenin on Monday that was set off when the army came to demolish the homes of two slain gunmen, Palestinian sources said. The fatalities in Kafr Dan village were the first for Palestinians since Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu retook office last week at the head of a hard-right coalition. The Israeli army confirmed carrying out the raid to raise the homes of two Palestinians who killed one of its commanders in the West Bank last year before they were shot dead. Troops shot at Palestinians in Kafr Dan who attacked them with gunfire, rocks and firebombs, the army said in a statement. There were no Israeli casualties in the incident. Hamas, an Islamist group that runs the Gaza Strip and has a following in the West Bank, claimed one of the dead Palestinians, who was 17 years old, as its member. In a statement, Hamas, which rejects coexistence with Israel, vowed to pursue resistance and confront the terrorism and fascism of the new occupation government. There was no immediate word on whether the second slain Palestinian, aged 21, had any factional affiliations. The Syrian army said on Monday an Israeli missile strike had briefly put the Damascus International Airport out of service, the latest in a string of strikes targeting Iran-linked assets. A volley of air-launched missiles had hit the airport at 2 a.m., the army said in a statement. They had come from the direction of Lake Tiberias in Israel. Missiles had also hit targets in the south of Damascus, killing two members of the Syrian armed forces and causing some damage, the army said. The transport ministry said in an online statement that workers had removed debris from the strikes and that flights would resume by 9 a.m. Earlier, two regional intelligence sources said the strikes had hit an outpost near the airport of Iran's Quds Force and militias it backs. Their presence has spread in Syria in recent years. Last year, Israel intensified strikes on Damascus International and other civilian airports to disrupt Tehran's increasing use of area supply lines to deliver arms to allies in Syria and Lebanon, including Hezbollah. Syria halted flights to and from the airport in June for nearly 2 weeks after Israeli strikes caused extensive damage to infrastructure, including a runway and a terminal. Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva was sworn in as Brazil's president on Sunday, delivering a searing indictment of far-right former leader Jair Bolsonaro and vowing a drastic change of course to rescue a nation plagued by hunger, poverty and racism. In a speech to Congress after officially taking the reins of Latin America's biggest country, the leftist leader said democracy was the true winner of the October presidential vote when he ousted Bolsonaro in the most fraught election for a generation. Bolsonaro, who left Brazil for the United States on Friday after refusing to concede defeat, rattled the cages of Brazil's young democracy with baseless claims of electoral weaknesses that birthed a violent movement of election deniers. Lula, who was behind bars during Bolsonaro's 2019 inauguration on graft convictions that were later overturned, delivered a veiled threat to his predecessor. He also accused Bolsonaro's administration of committing genocide by failing to respond properly to the COVID-19 virus that killed more than 680,000 Brazilians. Although Bolsonaro's Florida trip insulates him from any immediate legal jeopardy in Brazil, he now faces mounting judicial risk related to his anti-democratic rhetoric and his pandemic handling after losing his presidential immunity, legal experts said. That is the size of top accolade global news updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy New Year!